So I'm going to be showing you what I got in this month's Fearless Nail box. This is what the box looks like, and you can tell that it's already an underwater. It's such a cute box. This will be great for reusing for gifts. So the theme was Fanta-Sea, and it says the Fanta-Sea box comes with a stamping plate, mermaid colors inspired rhinestones, a rhinestone wax pencil, blue iridescent striping tape, a water decal, and a stencil. This box allows people of all ages to delve into the fantasy world of mermaids and create a manicure that can be fun and playful and more subtle but still stunning. These rhinestones, they came in a bag already, but I put them in a little container, and they're pretty like pearl toned rhinestones. You can see those, and they're pink and blue and green. This wax pencil, but it broke already, and I honestly don't feel like sharpening it in order to do the tutorial, so I'm going to use this wax rhinestone applicator instead. Now it'll be able to use the same way that you would be able to use the wax rhinestone pencil that came in the box. Here are the water decals that came in the box. They're very cute. Then we have some stencils. I probably won't be using these in the nail tutorial. These I got at Rite Aid, and I will be using these. They're optional, but you can probably use other rhinestones also. You could just use the rhinestones that you have in your set. Here's some fun clippings I got off of the stamping plate package. These I just thought would be useful for other nail art. They're just off of the package. Flowers, butterfly, and then there's some nail art there. This comes in the box, and it is a how to apply everything. It tells you how to apply everything in this box. And then finally we have our stamping scraper and stamp. We have our tape, and it's pretty shimmery green. And then we have our stamping plate, and it's really fun here. Got some sea life going on in there. So in order to do these nails, I have a few other things. I have, of course, my gelish foundation and top coat, and also my Easy Flow Easy Bond. But as far as what colors I've picked out, and I might pick out some more, I will let you know if I start picking out more colors. But I have China Glaze, and this is in the color Turned Up Turquoise. I have Essence, and this is in the color Mr. and Mrs. Glitter, and it is just large scale hexagonal mermaid glitter. Then I have Finger Paints Dao Bingni, I don't know how to pronounce that, Garden, and that's just a mermaid glitter. Then I have Sally Hansen Pearl Crush Mermint, and that's a large, very large pearl glitter. And then I have Julie G Shark's Cove, and that's sparkly seafoam blue. And then finally I have Ulta, and this is in Snow White, and this is for anywhere I apply these water decals, because it says white base only, so you should use a white base only with those. First I'm going to remove my toenail polish, and then we'll get started on the toenails. So the first color I'm going to paint on the big toe is the Ulta Snow White. The next color I'm going to paint will be the China Glaze in Turned Up Turquoise. And on the middle toenail, it will be the Julie G Shark's Cove. And the last two nails, it will be the China Glaze again. Now these toenails are going to be symmetrical. So go ahead and paint the other nail while that first layer is drying. Okay, now it's back to the first side. And we're just going to paint a second layer. Okay, now we're going to go in with our glitter top coats. The first one we're going to use is finger paints. And we're going to do that on this second toenail here. Then we're going to do the Pearl Crush Sally Hansen. We're going to do that on the middle toe. It might be kind of a struggle to pick up some of the glitter. And the second to last toe, we're going to use the Essence hexagonal glitter. And then finally the last toe, we're going back into the finger paints glitter. Okay, so the nail seems to be dry. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this water decal. And I'm going to use this large mermaid here. I'm going to go ahead and round out that ball. It's kind of flat, but I want it to be rounder. And I could not find my regular tweezers, so I'm using some boning tweezers. That did not go as well as I planned, but I kind of got her on there. I've never done a water decal before, so that was my first time doing a water decal. And since we have all this empty space over here, I think I'm going to fill that with a little bit of this finger paints glitter. And there's our water decal. Her face got a little deformed, but it did work out okay. Next we're going to take these crystals here, and I'm going to put one of these crystals, and like I said, this is optional since these did not come in the box. And I'm going to put it on this middle toe and see what we got here. Now we're going to top everything with our Essie top coat. This is a gel top coat. This doesn't have to be cured though. Now if you have smaller toes, you might want to use the smaller mermaid. And now for the other mermaid. Now I'm going to fill in the sides again with glitter. This one I got a little more centered, so I'm going to fill in the corners with glitter. And then we're taking the small rhinestones again. You could use the rhinestones that came in the box. And laying those out on the center nail. And now top everything with the clear top coat. Next you'll need a cotton swab and some nail polish remover to clean up the edges. Okay, so we are done with that top coat. Now it's time to move on to gel nails. For that we're going to need some clear tips. And pick out your sizes. Okay, take your coarse nail file and file the tip of your nail. You don't want to do this too much, just enough to give it kind of something to grip onto. Now take your easy flow and then you want to take your nail glue. I'm using Kiss Maximum Speed. And glue on your tips one at a time. Place a small amount of glue along the band of the nail. And apply it on each tip. Pressing down. Alright, now that we've got our nails on, it's time to cut them into shape. And we're going to be doing almond shapes. So that's basically like a stiletto, but with a more rounded tip. And the length you want them is really up to you. And make sure they're about the same length before you start filing. Okay, that's probably good enough. Now you want your file, and first file the top of the nail to make sure that it's as flat as possible, to make your nail as seamless as possible. Now it's time to shape the nail, and I'll show you with this thumbnail, but you want to kind of round it out like a stiletto. But you want it to be a little more round, like an almond. Alright, so after lots of filing, your nails should look similar to this, nice and almond shaped. And now we need our foundation. Now, to do the nails, what I like to do is first paint a thin layer of the foundation on each nail, except for the thumb. Make sure you get the foundation into any cracks or crevices that might be on the tips. You don't want any holes on the nail. Okay, now that we've painted a thin layer on, I like to go back in and get a lot on the tip of the brush and dab that right at the seam of the nail, the extension, and repeat that on each nail. And then flip your nails over and hold them upside down for about 30 seconds. Alright, now we gotta stick them under the UV light and let them cure. Alright, and now repeat the same thing on the thumb and then placing it under the UV light. Okay, the first color I'm going to go into is Shark's Cove, and I'm going to paint the thumbnail. I suggest only doing one hand at a time so you're less likely to make mistakes. Next color will be the China Glaze. And the good thing about that is it looks like it'll be opaque in one coat. So we won't have to worry about applying 2 coats of that one. That's always nice. And then we're going to go in with the Snow White on the middle nail. I always like to have my middle finger something of interest because I like to use it. The next 2 nails we're going to be doing with the China Glaze again. Okay, let that dry for a second. And then we're going to go back over the Shark's Cove because that did not get opaque. I think that will be good enough. That is a gorgeous color. I love Julie G nail polishes. They're affordable and gorgeous, and I love the formula. The next one we're going to go over top of is that Ulta. It's just a little streaky, so we want to kind of make it a little more opaque. And then finally we're going to do a diagonal line with the Shark's Cove on this nail. So this is what our nails look like so far. Now we're going to be adding some glitter to these 2 nails. So first glitter I'm going to add is the finger paints, and let's do that at the base of the nail. Dragging that upwards, fading it out. The next glitter we're going to do is the Essence glitter. That one I just kind of want to do all over the nail. And finally we are going to do the Sally Hansen's glitter on the Shark Cove. And that one I'm just going to do at the top of the nail. It is kind of hard to pick up glitter in here. And see what I'm doing here is I picked up some glitter. So you can see a little bit of glitter in there. And I'm slowly fading out that Sally Hansen color with the brush. Okay, now these got to dry so we can apply some rhinestones, some decals, and some tape. I want to use this tape. I might also do some stamping, so let me look at the stamping. Okay, so it seems to be dry now. So the first thing I'm going to do is add my water decal. And for the middle finger, I'm going to use this seashell water decal. So go ahead and wet that. There we have our seashell nail. Now we're going to be adding some rhinestones. Actually, I think I want to do a stamp first. I think I want to do, how about this mermaid? That looks great. Now get that on there. We got our mermaid on there, but we kind of messed up our nail polish. It wasn't quite dry all the way. So we're just gonna pat that in there, flatten it out. So there we got a mermaid on there. Now I want to add some rhinestones to that. So here's our rhinestones. So let's put a top coat on there. I think I want the charms to go kind of diagonally. So we got one. We're just kind of placing those all along there diagonally, kind of just randomly. I really like this tool. This tool is nice. I'll link to where I got it on Amazon in the description box. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm loving that. Okay. Let's paint a clear top coat over top of that just to make sure they don't fall off while we're doing the rest of the nail art. So we got our mermaid and rhinestones on that nail. The thumbnail is pretty much done. You could do other stuff to it if you wanted to, but I like it how it is. Now let's move on to this pointer finger. So this one we're going to do some crystals. I'm going to take one of these crystals here. You could just do this with your rhinestones. And we're going to place those at the base of the nail. Let's add a couple of rhinestones to this nail too. I'm going to add a rhinestone here, rhinestone here, rhinestone here, and a rhinestone there. Okay, let's put a top coat over top of those rhinestones. And I think I'm going to put a top coat over top of these rhinestones too, just to get them in place. Let's try and press this down a little more. Kind of wanted to curl up. Okay, and this one I wanted to do the seaweed on. Let's go ahead and try it with the white. Back with your stamper. We kind of got some seaweed there. It added a little extra in there. Maybe some crystals. Let's add some crystals. Let's add this little curvy one. And do that. Do that along the side there. See, we got the seaweed going up this side, and then we got the curved crystals right here. And then paint that with the top coat. Okay, now the final nail, we're going to need some nail tape. Oh, first I want to do a seashell stamp. So I need to clean off my stamper. Now I'm going to go with the white into the seashell. We've got kind of a seashell going on there. Now we need the tape. Now we're going to apply the tape along that line. It's a little tricky to do. And trim off any excess. Now I'm going to go in with the rhinestone tool again and some top coat. And I'm going to add some rhinestones to the tip of the seashell. Okay, so we got rhinestones around the tip of the seashell there, and some tape. And now I'm just going to paint a top coat over that tape and try and flatten it down, and also over top of the rhinestones. Alright, I think they look pretty good. I'm liking how they turned out, very mermaidy. Now it's time to paint on the gel top coat and get them all cured. So let's move this stuff out of the way. So here's our gel top coat. So let's do this thumb first this time. And let's stick it under there. Alright, next the other fingers. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean up around the edges. Okay, so I already removed the sticky layer on this, and I'll show you how to do that once we finish this hand. But my camera's memory card got full, so I had to grab another memory card, and I decided to go ahead and let these nails dry while that was happening. This is what the nails look like so far. So let's get started on the other hand. First we'll need the foundation, and you want to do the exact same thing you did on the other hand, starting out with the first 4 fingers and then the thumb. Okay, so we got our foundation done. Now it's time to move on to painting the nails. I'm going to paint the thumbnail white. Next, the pointer is going to be that China glaze. And then the middle finger is also going to be the China glaze. And then finally, the ring finger is going to be the China glaze. Next, we're going to finish off the pinky with the Julie G. Now we're going to go back and paint another layer of white on the thumb. And this pointer finger, we're going to take our Essence glitter polish with the middle finger. We're going to take the Shark's Cove and paint diagonally. With the ring finger, we're going to take our finger paints and let's do the tip on the finger paints. Fading it down. And focusing more glitter on the tip. And then finally with the pinky, just paint another layer of the Julie. Allow that to dry for a little bit, and then we'll paint some of the Pearl Crush on top of the Julie G. Okay, now we're going to get some of this Sally Hansen's nail polish. And try and get any of that glitter you can to go on the nail. might be hard. Okay, I got some on the nail. Just kind of spread it out. We're not really so much worried about getting it at the top of the nail, although we don't have to get it all the way at the bottom of the nail. Just kind of cover the nail as much as possible. Got some on there. Okay, now that the nails have dried, I'm going to take a mermaid and cut that out and round out the ball on that mermaid, cutting off any extra because I find it's easier to trim off the extra. Now we want to dip it in our water. Oops. Flattening that out. And see, we got a mermaid. Take our scissors and cut off any extra there might be. I feel like that needs some rhinestones. So I'm going to take this little rhinestone right here. I'm going to place that on the little bubble right there. And I might even add some more rhinestones. How about that? How about these rhinestones here? Let's put those right at the tip. There we go. That looks a little better. Like that. Okay. Next we're moving on to this finger. This finger I want to do a stamp. I want to do these fish here. And we're going to do that with the white Ulta polish. The fishies on there. They're kind of hidden in the scales there. And we're going to take this rhinestone here and apply that around the corner of the nail like that. So that nail's done. And then this nail, we need to do the stamp again. So we got to clean off our stamping plate. I really want to do the starfish here. The stamper keeps getting stuck. See if it stamps. Ooh, it stamped. Not perfectly, but good enough. Got a bit of a starfish going on there. Now it's time to add our tape. And you want that to go along the line. Trim off any excess. So to do that, we're going to need some clear polish. And paint in the center of the starfish. And grab a rhinestone. I really want that pink one. And set it down. I don't know, maybe I should do more rhinestones. It's just not really popping. Maybe I should do rhinestones going out down the center of each leg. That kind of defeated the purpose of the stamp, but I think it looks better that way. Well, I'm kind of just doing my own thing here. It's not really falling into plan how I wanted it to on this nail, but we'll see what comes of it. I'm just going to lay out some rhinestones. This will be a rhinestone nail. Okay, we got some rhinestones on there. That looks much better than that starfish did. When in doubt, cover it with rhinestones. And then on this next nail here, we're just going to do the simple pointed rhinestone. And then finally, with this nail, we're going to use the last sticker here, or use these rhinestones, and put that on the center of the nail. Now you want to allow these to dry before you apply your top coat. So now what I do to get the sticky stuff off my hands is I use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and I just get a generous amount and rub that all over my hands, and that will get the sticky stuff on the nails off the nails. And then once you're done with everything, you want to lotion up your hands and your feet. Make sure that they get softened after all those chemicals you put on them. And there's the finished nails. So pretty and sparkly. I hope you enjoyed this Fearless nail art tutorial, my first Fearless nail box, my first Fearless nail art tutorial. I enjoyed it, even though it took hours and tons of memory card space and tons of patience and tons of Diet Coke. I enjoyed it. So I hope to see you again. Bye.